Welcome back to Deerdorf Teaches Golf. Today we are working on posture and alignment. In our previous video, we worked on the basics of the grip, whether it was interlock or overlap, and that dreaded baseball swing that I really hope you aren't using. Today, I've got two alignment sticks in front of me, and we're going to talk a lot about alignment and how important it is not only in the short irons, but the long irons and the driver to really make sure we are just primed and setting ourselves up for success. And I'm going to go over a couple tendencies that I see a lot of amateurs falling into that hinder us from hitting a great golf shot. So let's get started. I've got an 8-iron in my hands here, and always when I practice, guys, and I hope you can do this as well, set up some alignment sticks. It's the number one thing that's going to help us play better golf. Every time we're at the range, I want to see you guys using some sort of alignment aid. It just gets us in the groove and gets us primed to hit great golf shots out in the golf course. So what does this first alignment stick do right by my feet? Well, it does exactly what I just mentioned. It aligns my feet. So I've got this about 5 yards left of my target, and I'll cover that here in a moment. But the second alignment stick here is helping not only my shoulders align visually, but it's also helping my path here, my takeaway path, to get in a great position for us to make a good takeaway, which is, you guys know if you follow the channel and have watched my intro video, the takeaway is one of my 5 keys to the fundamental great aspects of this game in which I teach. So this first alignment stick is about 5 yards left of our target. We never want to be lined up right of our target or left of our target more than like 5 yards. What that's going to cause us to do is have us a little bit open and allow us to fire our hips a little bit. And as I said, this alignment stick here gives us a nice reference point for not only our shoulders, and we can check that by holding our golf club up here. Very simple. We can check it with the line under our feet, and we can check it with that right out here. This visually helps us to see if we're closed or if we're open in our shoulders. We want to be square with our alignment lines on both sides. That's where we want our shoulders to be, and we're going to make a good swing with an 8-iron. Right down our line. So now, what are some things that I see a lot of amateurs falling into that we're going to cover in this video as well? Well, if we don't have this alignment aid, or if we do, a lot of amateurs are setting up open. Well, what is that doing for the rest of our game, and why is that not helping us? Well, if we're doing an open stance, as shown here, we're very open to this white line here. What that forces us to do is then not only try and keep our hands square here while the feet are super open, but what it's going to make us do when we get to the top and we come down, we're either going to have to throw our hands out to keep it square because our feet are so open, or what it's going to do, what I see a lot of amateurs doing, is we get to the top, make a good backswing, and then we follow our feet inside. Look at how far our hands are coming inside. This is going to cause us to cut across the ball and swipe it and hit a big high slice every time. So we don't want to do that. We want to set ourselves up square. Now, in the contrast, closed feet, what is that going to do? This really affects our takeaway. And if I had to pick one that was worse, I really don't like to see closed feet. Closed feet forces our takeaway almost inside immediately. So instead of following this line like I had talked about earlier in the video, where we want to be straight back the path, a closed stance really, without us even thinking about it, forces our hands inside, and then we're forced, with a lot of what amateurs follow into, is over the top here. So just by fixing our alignment, guys, whether it's a closed stance or an open stance that we fall into, just by getting ourselves square, following both our alignment stick lines here, and helping that on our takeaway and our foot line, we can make great golf swings and turn ourselves out of a lot of these tendencies. So guys, that's alignment. Let's drop into posture.